This is for anyone that needs to hear this right now that's coping with a loss of some kind in their life. It's very easy to focus on the negative. It's so easy to think about what was, how beautiful it was, and then look at the future with pessimism. It is so easy to do that. But you know what I say? Before there was something beautiful that you experienced, you didn't know that it was going to happen. That beautiful thing came, and it was especially beautiful because you could not predict it, because you did not know that it was going to happen. And in this moment, it's no different than the moments before that beautiful thing that happened, or that beautiful person or whatever in your life. This moment is no different because before you knew that person, you didn't know that you would meet that person. And I want to believe that there is something else that is beautiful. And I want to believe that because I've experienced something beautiful, that I can experience it again, that I can experience it again, and I can experience it in a different way, and I can experience it in different forms, and I can experience different flavors of it, and I can experience it, and I can relish it. And I choose to think positively. Because it is so easy to focus on the negative. And the negative breeds negative. And when you start to think about resentment, and you start to think about the negatives, and you start to think about that stuff, then you think more about it, and more about it, and more about it. And it's so easy to entertain that black hole. But I want to believe, and I want you to believe, that your inner environment can be just as beautiful as this day here outside. That how you feel inside can be just as beautiful as the sky out here. And I want you to believe that, because it is possible. And it will happen for you. Because if it has happened for you, it can happen for you. And if that is what you are destined for, and you know that in your heart, it will happen for you. So believe that, and do not let the negative breed the negative. Do not let the negative entertain it. Do not entertain the negative. When the negative comes, do not entertain the negative. But it can be so easy. It can be so easy. Every time the negative comes up, every time you think about how you missed something, every time you think about how you miss her, I want you to imagine experiencing that in the future. I want you to imagine that tomorrow, that next month, that in the future, you are going to have that experience. Because you know what I can say? There was a time I felt very lonely. I was grieving over my high school sweetheart. And in grieving over her, I remember I would go to different places. I do photography, and I go to different parks. I go to different places, and I go there by myself. And they're special to me. But I always dreamed of taking someone I love with me there. And I didn't believe that that was a possibility. I did not believe that that could happen. 1 year later, not only had I taken somebody that I fell in love with to those places, I was down at the beach. I was in Florida, and I live in Atlanta. And eventually, I went farther than I have gone before with her, and I went all the way down to Miami, a place I've never been to. And had you asked me when I was in that moment, when I was feeling that way, had you asked me, is that going to happen? Are you going to experience that? I would have told you, I don't believe that. You are crazy. If I told you that that could happen to you in a year from now, I would tell you to get out of here. I would tell you that you are crazy. But I am telling you, that's what happened. And I could have never had predicted that stuff. And I want to tell you that right now, when you're sitting here with your sitting here all heartbroken, I want to tell you that something is coming. And you don't know what it is. And someone is coming into your life. You don't know who she is. You do not know what day she's going to come. But she's coming. And it's especially special because you don't know when. You cannot control it. You cannot predict it. But God is preparing you, and the universe is preparing you for that person through this experience. Because like I said, I remember how I felt. I felt like I could wake up in the morning. I felt invisible. I felt that if I died, until my rent was due, nobody would know. And then a year later, I'm down in Florida, having already visited all those special places I go to for photography. I was down in Florida with someone I love, making sweet love, making beautiful memories that are very close to my heart. And like I said, if you're sitting in this position right now where you feel it's not possible, I want you to remember what I just told you of my own story. I want you to remember that.